So tell us about one of these trips that maybe there's a crazy moment that stand out, right? Like you've flown in a private jet, you've taken a boat 30 miles to the middle of the ocean. Like, was there ever like a oh shit moment, or like where something didn't go as planned, or where it was like,
I've got two.
Okay, please.
Okay. I've got two. The first one is back to the frying pan tower. Okay. You're 32 miles offshore. And when you're that far in a boat is one thing. And we went out there with Mark Labachetta, who is a local diver in Wilmington, and he knows Richard and he's familiar with those waters. And so I thought, well, we're going to go on the tower and interview Richard. I'm like, but I'm not going to go that far and not, snorkel. I call it snorkel.
Yeah.
They were spearfishing. I can't hold my breath that long. But when you get in the water that far away from land, you feel like a fish out of water, because that is not your natural habitat. And, I put the mask on and I'm kind of just bobbing, and, 4-foot seas are just gonna, you kind of float over them. And then when you put your face in the water, and it looks like the most insane fish tank that you can ever think of, because it's the Gulf Stream out there. So it's very clear, it's very warm. And I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now, but I saw 35, maybe 50 4-foot barracuda all within 15, 20 yards of me. And then you lift your head up and you're like, oh, back to the real world. And you put it back down and, oh man, there's those barracudas again. And just floating out there like that, man, in the middle of the ocean. I mean, I had a wetsuit on, so I was a little buoyant, but I'm just floating like a dead seal. And I'm just taking it all in, and I'm watching these guys dive and, go try to shoot African pompano and hogfish and all these other things. And that was just a really surreal moment. And then probably like the last 5 or 10 minutes, I was, just staring at the ocean floor. It's about 30 feet deep there. And I see this, I mean, it's got to be at least 7-8 foot nurse shark. Man, very strange set of emotions. Seeing multiple sharks like that, and you're not looking at them in an aquarium with a glass between you.
Yeah.
Dude, if they want to come up here, they're going to come up here, and I can't get away.
Yeah.
So that would be the one, that's the first one that I thought of, where it was just kind of like that, like, man, I'll remember this for the rest of my life moment. And the second one was when we went out to El Mirage, and it is in the middle of nowhere, Southern California. It's about, I'd say maybe 45 minutes to an hour north of LA, out in the desert. And I had a friend of mine that was already it's a dry lake bed where they do land speed racing, and they've done it for a long time. It's a very historical venue. I say venue. A very historical GPS coordinate.
Yeah.
And so I said, dude, I can't really get accurate directions. Can you just drop me a pin? And so he just drops me a pin. And the way that it was set up was the true entrance where the ranger station is on this side of the dry lake bed, which is miles long. Well, his location where they had set up the pits for Aaron Brown and his team of drivers was at the other end. And so we kind of came in the back way. And when I say you're in the middle of nowhere, I mean, dude, you don't see houses for 25, 30 minutes. And you're in the middle of the desert, and you can see the mountain range and off in the distance. And we're going down this paved road, and all of a sudden, it's like out of a movie. You crest over the horizon. It's like real faint heat waves, and the pavement stops. And I'm like, huh. I'm looking around. I'm like, we're nowhere near a dry lake bed. So I'm like, okay. The positive side of my brain is like, yeah, it's probably just you can't see it. It's probably just over that next dirt hill. No. Pavement ends, and my wife Rachel's with me, and the pavement ends, and the GPS is still navigating us, but these are not roads. These are legitimate UTV trails with giant potholes and off-access camber corners. And we're in this rental car just bouncing along and just praying and hoping that we're going somewhere that is safe, because out there's all these abandoned weed farms that have been completely just torched. And there's trailers. And I mean, it looks like a scene out of Breaking Bad. And there's stray dogs and there's big old 4x8 sheets of plywood that people have like spray painted like street names or like compound names on. And I was trying to keep my wife so calm. It's okay. It's probably just over this next hill. It's all good. Yeah. No. I think we're in the right place. And she's almost in tears. I mean, she probably was in tears, but I was just focused on white knuckle driving down these ridiculous paths. And there was a point where we passed a truck full of people that did not look like they were up to any good.
Yeah.
And Rachel, I could just see her just holding onto that door handle like, no, this door is not going to ever open. And we eventually get there. But that ride in, and by the way, it was almost at sunset. So we didn't really have a lot of time to come up with a different plan or turn around. Heaven forbid we got a flat tire. What if we bent the rim? What if we broke down?
Yeah.
But these are the adventures that I'm telling you, when you're uncomfortable, no good story comes from things going right.
Yeah.
And so while it was at the expense of my wife's mental peace,
Totally worth it.
I got an incredible story.